All right, you beautiful bastions of freedom, it is time. The time has come. It is the moment where we drive forward with our freedom, 100% clickbait free, all for the next generation. Guys, this is going to be an interesting episode. We've got all the crazy coming from the left. We've got some infighting. We've got the loony bin asylum that they dumped out on the streets. We've got a lot of other very interesting things, including the whole Iran scuttlebutt going around right now. Because today, a lot of people were talking about an imminent decision that seems to not have been made. And there's a lot of other things that are contradicting themselves. I'm going to show you all of it, but when you zoom out on this and you look at the macro here, this genuinely looks like something else. Stay tuned. That's going to be in this episode. This is going to be one you're going to love. Please send this stuff out. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. Guys, we are slapping people over here on the left, and when we're bored, we got to deal with some podcast wars over here because we got a country to save, 100% clickbait free, because you guys deserve the very best, and I aim to give it to you. Scruff Limbaugh checking in, as you guys have deemed me worthy of that nickname. Listen, people, the comments, the chats, the emojis are life. Every time you guys do it and you share it out, the more you tell the notification bell to brush off his Pringle crumbs off his mom's basement and get out to work. And that's an amazing thing. So the more you guys do it, let's be candid, the video is not going to like itself. The more we can spread some freedom. Okay, let's get into this. We got a lot of people in here. The videos are flying. Excuse me, the comments and chats are flying. Let's dive right in. The early viewer gets the worm. This appetizer segment, people, this one is going to be worthy of memory. We're going to go all over the place in this segment, but I want to start off with something, kind of wet your whistle, about the very last segment that we're going to do, which is all Iran focused, okay? This is going to wet your whistle because this is the things that are happening right now while you're getting one side from the media of cataclysm, the other side you're getting cataclysm, but no one's putting all these things together. I'm going to attempt to do that for you, so make sure you stay tuned. Here we go. This is what Donald Trump just said the Iranians did today. This is an important piece as we move forward with this. Let me adjust the audio levels real quick because this is a weird one, and I try to give you guys the very best on these internet streets. Here we go.
Dealing directly, and as you know, they've agreed to send 8 boats 2 days ago, and then they added another 2, so it was 10 boats. And now today they gave us as a tribute, I don't know, I can't define it exactly, but they gave us, I think out of a sign of respect, 20 boats of oil, big boats of oil.
That was 20.
Going through the Hormuz Strait. And that's taking place starting tomorrow morning. Over the next couple of days, a lot of boats. And I would only say that we're doing extremely well in that negotiation.
All right. Hold on a second. Let me get the audio levels back because I had to do some on-the-fly manipulation. As you guys know, I am producing, I am editing, I am content creating. I'm on front of the camera, behind the camera. I'm all over the cameras. All right. Let me break that through because that was a very hard clip to fully understand. And I've got it linked if you want to watch it on your own, but it's a very hard audio clip. That was taken on Air Force One. There's 2 things that I want to bring your attention to around what's going on in Iran right now. And again, at the end of this video, the last segment you see up there, the last 10 to 15 tabs are all the varying different information of which we don't have a freaking clue of what's going on. But these tidbits are pointing in a direction which I'm going to show you. Donald Trump hit on 2 things. One, the Iranians just gave them 10 more boats full of oil. Okay, well, that's stacking on top of the prior 10 boats. So they've now given us 30 boats of oil. Okay, this is where you start to get into a weird little element of we don't know what's going on, we don't know the pieces, but there's some interesting things that are happening. So they gave us 30 total boats full of oil, while at the same time they hate us and nothing's going to happen in the world and we're going to invade the entire country. This doesn't make sense. And I'm going to do a big caveat here in a second. Hold on. It doesn't make sense for Donald Trump to say that the negotiations are going well after 2 or 3 days ago he said we're talking with the right people now and they gave us oil to prove their control and power of the nation. Now they just gave them 20 more. Okay, that's odd if there's no negotiation going on. Why would they do that if there was nothing going on? Again, I'm going to address all of this later on. We're going to address the potential rumors of the troop movements. We're going to address the actual oil. J.D. Vance makes an appearance. Donald Trump makes an appearance. The UAE makes an appearance. There's lots of stuff here that points in a different direction. But we're going to cover all of it as best I can. Here's my caveat on the entire thing. I don't have any source at the White House. I can't tell you that someone called me in a clandestine manner and they did a little paper bag drop underneath the right bench and the right trash can, and now I know that there's super secret information. No, I don't know that. Anybody who tells you they know what's going on 100% guaranteed is lying. They don't. They simply don't. Because you've got the media on one side, you've got the pundits on the other side, you got the podcast war participants over there, both sides of them, then you got the far left. No one knows. And there's a reason. And again, I will come to that. But we're going to deviate for a brief moment. That's just to wet your whistle. Let's have some fun for this appetizer right here. I don't know why I just spit all over the microphone. Oh, well, that's okay. This is the realism of this show was very, very real right there. Okay. Y'all, this is just going to make you laugh. I'll make sure the audio is not going to blast your eardrums out because I like you guys. I like you guys a lot. This is actually happening in Canada right now. Socialists and communists doing what socialists and communists do. If this does not make you smile, you might be dead. Okay, honest to God. Let me hear you in the comments and chats on this one. Take it away, commie.
I see that we are 1 minute ahead of schedule, and so I'm going to get out of here. The balloting co-chairs are returning, I believe. Now balloting co-chairs. There is a point. Let's hear the point on microphone 1.
I'm sorry, just real quick, point of personal privilege. I understand there's very little time and for delegates to speak, but early on the mic, it's hard as a racialized and transgender delegate to sometimes use this card and speak to somebody in front of me in line and ask, hey, this pertains to multiple intersecting parts of my lived experience. I'd like to speak. I was rejected when I talked, and it's frustrating when these are my rights being directly under attack right now in Alberta, and that a cisgender woman had spoken over me. And I understand her rights are important too. This pertains to her too, but I don't know. I hope that in the future the federal NDP will also have a broader interpretation of the equity cards for speakers. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, equity cards. They've got broader definitions of equity cards. You know what an equity card is? An equity card is when someone is in front of you in line and you bring it up and you go, excuse me. I am actually, I have 8 points because I am a transgendered, interracial, and band nerd. So I have 3 points on my equity card. You only have 2 points on your equity card. So don't make me use a point of personal privilege because I'll do it. Believe you me, I'll do it. You are a cisgendered woman. My God in heaven. Point of personal privilege. If that does not speak exactly to the opponents that we are going on with, oh my goodness gracious. All right, listen, I'm going to play that here, finish out in a second because this is incredible. What am I making you watch? I'm making you watch our opponents so you know them. That's what I'm doing. All right, and plus it's part of the appetizer show. This is the funniest part. All right, super chat from Art DLGR Jr. $20 super chat says, old grunt here, 20-year USA retired. New fan, you're my primary source of information. Thank you. Well, I appreciate very much, Art. I appreciate your service. Thank you for your sacrifice of time and energy and all the things that you put forward on the altar for the country, and I appreciate that. By the way, guys, everything is linked in the description box below. I link and source everything because I am not going to be a clickbaiter, and I'm sure as hell not going to tell you what to think. Right down there. Okay, here we go. EHF with a $5 super chat says, women behind the podium is the most privileged of all. She can hear colors from space. Yeah, she can hear colors. I think she can smell colors too. I mean, like, my God, like, you're 100% correct. Anyway, let's get back to the interracial, transgender, victimized cis woman equity card holder. Hold on.
I will invite delegates to assist me in better using the card by forming a straight line behind the microphone with a prominently displayed equity card. If I see speakers ahead of you who are not holding a card prominently, it would be wrong of me to guess about their gender identity, and I will come to you. This applies so far, according to your rules, for gender identities other than a dude, but it is open to us to change our rules as we like as we move forward into the bright and golden future. Thank you, friends. Let's hear the balloting co-chairs.
Oh my God. You cannot make this stuff up. Anyway, let's continue. Make sure you have your equity card. All right, we got even more stuff to get to. Guys, we have got some stuff. Intersectionality, exactly right. You know it. Now, this one, some of you are going to be very spicy about this one because, again, we're only in the appetizer. These are the ancillary things that didn't make it into a broader-based theme, except sometimes I just have to talk to you about these things. This guy is the CEO of BlackRock. Yeah, I told you y'all gonna get spicy. This is Larry Fink. Well, Larry Fink has come out and decided that BlackRock pushing all the corporations too far to the left to adopting woke was a bad idea, and now they're going to revert backwards in the other direction. Oh, this is going to go over like a lead balloon. Watch this.
Do you believe the woke era a failed experiment? The ESG, the DEI, the kind of push for that when you talk about things now, you talk in a practical sense, what we can do, what we can get done. Looking back at that, how do you see it?
Society moves, the pendulum moves all the time. In BlackRock's cases, we are responsible for managing money for.
Let's talk about the quiet part out loud. Society moves in a pendulum all the time. No, society did not move to the transgender, open borders, woke bullcrap everywhere. Sorry, that was an attempted manipulation of social engineering. That was not society swayed over here to chicks have penises and then it's going to sway back to dudes having penises. No, sorry. You don't get a pass on, it's just, society. It's so fickle. No. You guys pushed everyone over there, and then when everyone was like, that's insane, you fired them. Or you wrote them up. Or you slow fired them, which is basically like, you're never getting promoted, so you might as well quit. That's exactly what happened. And I can tell you that from personal experience, because when this stuff started rolling out, before I had a YouTube channel, before I was a content creator and a political commentator, I felt the sting of that, personally. Believe me, my vitriol against the far left woke and DEI and all of that BS and crap is very personal. I felt the lived experience. I did, and I know a lot of you did too. A whole lot of people did. But the whole angle of, everything pendulum swings back. Social engineering manipulation through the threat of pain is not gentle moves back and forth like a pendulum. That's literally coercion at the point of, unemployment lines. Anyway, back to that. Sorry, that wasn't a planned rant.
everybody. And even today, as you said, maybe these, renewables are less talked about it. I can tell you right now, we have many investors worldwide are investing in renewables, trying to emphasize solar and other things like that. We're working with Occidental Petroleum right now to building the best carbon capture factories in Texas right now. So do I believe the pendulum 5 years ago was too far? Yes.
You do?
I believe we're more I'm personally more pragmatic too. And I believe...
But do you think BlackRock pushed some companies a little bit further left than you thought?
It was never our intention, because our job is to be...
Okay, enough of that. It was never our intention. Really? Really? Okay. That pendulum thing is going to be used a lot, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Anyway, I just wanted to show you that part. But I got a super chat here from Samuel Turner, $10. I appreciate your show. Thank you, Samuel. I am more afraid of terror cell issues in the U.S. than any other threat we face. That's because it's a real one. I think that's valid. Honestly, I think that's legitimate. All right, let's keep on trucking. Thank you for that super chat. We got so much stuff to talk about. Hey, guys, the equity card holders were acting a fool again. Look at this. Democrats in Pennsylvania withdrew a resolution to honor March as National Women's Month after a Republican asked them what a woman is.
A battle over biology in battleground Pennsylvania, where state Democrats withdrew a House resolution honoring March as National Women's Month. All it took was a Republican lawmaker asking for a simple definition of what a woman is. The vote was expected to be quick and largely symbolic, but it was pulled after this awkward 25-second break.
Madam Speaker, this amendment is very straightforward and clear. It defines what a woman actually is, because we do know what that is. Thank you.
The resolution is temporarily over.
Well, there you go. They pulled the whole thing. The Republican who put forth the amendment says defining a woman as having double X chromosomes should not be controversial.
Well, you know, guys, that pendulum, man, I'll tell you what. And come here real quick. There is a theme to all of these things. And as you guys stay in these videos, it's like, I've made the joke before, the reference before. It's like Hansel and Gretel through the woods, right? We'll get to the witch's house. Don't worry. Like, everything is going in a direction on these shows. That's why everything's linked. But my goodness gracious, you want to talk about the woke being indoctrinated directly into the Democrat Party? You're going to make something as simple as March being Women's National Month or whatever. And when a simple question is asked, well, in order to do that, can you just tell us what a woman is? And then you poll the amendment. Infection still rampant? Yeah, it is. I'm going to show you some more stuff in a second on the next segment. This is going to be fun. We're not even done with the appetizer. So if you just got in here, you're good. We are just getting warmed up. Okay, y'all, it's a brain virus. It's an actual mental brain virus. And what I'm talking about is the suicidal empathy from the liberals and the leftists on the whatever country you want, fill in the blank. Because they will literally, in order to acquiesce and to capitulate to other people's feelings with their overdeveloped sense of empathy, they will off themselves. And when I mean off, I mean politically. I don't mean violence. YouTube, watch it now. I didn't mean it like that. But this is in Britain, and fair warning, I'm probably going to make a British accent in a second, because I can't hear an accent and not like do it some way. It's like my own little thing. Anyway, watch this. Dogs are bad in Britain. You'll never know why.
We've got a problem. It's a lot about the national parks and getting people out there and making national parks for everybody. And one of the problems is dogs. And actually, this isn't just about the fact that a lot of Muslims find dogs very difficult. It is about people who do not know how to control their dogs.
Why do Muslims find dogs difficult?
Because a lot of they don't have dogs as pets. They have dogs as
But that shouldn't stop other people taking their dogs to the country.
Oh, yes, it should. It really should. Because if you import 8 million Muslims, then you've only got like 2 million Brits, and you've got bad teeth and really dry humour and shitty food. I mean, you've got to get some people in here somewhere, so you can't have dogs, because if you have dogs, then you're going to offend the new people who are replacing the old people. What kind of suicidal maniac are you? I mean, like, honest to goodness, that's what happens every time I hear a British person speak inside my head. I mean, suicidal empathy doesn't even begin to describe what this is. So now, you not only don't have a country in Britain, you not only have been overwhelmed and overrun by the open door policies that you had, tried the new Biden, but only you did it Biden with the Union Jack. So you can't have dogs in your own country now because Muslims are offended in your country. This is the part where I'm all out of F's on this crap. So wait a minute, I can't have my freedoms. I can't display an American flag because I'm in America because it offends someone else who's not from America. Yeah, don't care. Sit and spin, pick a finger. Like, no, sorry, that's just not flying. You know what? Say something bad about my American flag in my cubicle. I'll have 17 more tomorrow. It's okay. I've got a credit card. We'll make this happen. I mean, come on. Tell me who doesn't feel that way every time you hear these people talk about their suicidal empathy. I mean, come on. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my British accent. Okay, sorry. The British accent and scenario cracked me up. I'm glad. It happens every time. In fact, I think that's one of the only accents I can actually do without offending people or something, or crossing some magical line that I can't do. Whatever. Oh, look! The ears came back. This is another one. Again, I couldn't not do it again, guys. I couldn't. We're still in the appetizer, and you deserve a sweet finish. This is like a creme brulee in the appetizer portion. Watch this. Oh goodness, I love this he, they, these, shim equity card holder.
There's a point of privilege on microphone 1, then we'll go to microphone 3. Go ahead, delegate.
Yes. Hello. I was standing here with my gender equity card before you called on the previous speaker. That's my point of privilege that I would like to raise.
I will explain the speaking order, which is fixed, that I cannot amend, which is the pro-con rotation. You can move yourself up a line that you're standing in.
I am pro, and I was...
We went...
You went pro, con,
We went pro-con, pro, and my plan was to go con. The speaker at Con Mic 3 also has a speaking card.
Yesterday, this card was used in an inappropriate manner. And while I understand in Ontario we note this as equity, even if that, this was also used inappropriately in terms of gender. I want everyone to be mindful that these cards for individuals like myself who identify as a Black woman have no value outside of this space.
Y'all, these are the people who think they're going to run the country. Like, these are the ones that think they're smarter than you, and these are the ones that think they're going to take you politically, physically, anyway. I mean, like, point of personal privilege, you don't have a pink equity card, but I have a yellow equity card. You called on the pink equity card before you called on the yellow equity card, and that's my whole point. Don't make me get my point of privilege again. Someone used this card in the wrong way, and that is an abuse of the power, straight up Peter Parker from Spider-Man style. That with great power comes great responsibility. Don't you abuse this equity card, because here in Ontario, we abide by the equity card. Holy crap. Behold your opponents. Not scared. Okay, let's keep on going. I don't know what's wrong with these crazy people, but my goodness. Guys, we made it through the appetizer. We did. If you're just now getting in here, you missed a pretty good I'm going to be honest. You did miss a pretty good appetizer. I recommend you fully do a 180, back that thing up, and then come back and watch it again. Because, honestly, we're just now getting into the spicy part. But that appetizer, man, was that good? I mean, I'm just saying, come on. Equity cards? Please. Women's March Day? Come on. That's gold. All right, anyway, let's keep on trucking. This is the part where we start getting into the brass tacks of our freedom quest. So if you guys are enjoying the show, the delivery, if you want to, you want to throw me a bone here, hit a like button, hit a share, Facebook, X, YouTube, text your friends. Anybody? Okay. I'm just saying, if you like and share and comment and you become a subscriber, you can help save the world. I mean, in a roundabout way, it's kind of true. All right, I'm just feeling kind of froggy tonight. Guys, we are about to have so much fun. If you thought the appetizer was great, you're really going to love this next part. David Savage with a $10 super chat says, are these effing people for real? 1,000%. That was an entire conference in Canada, eh? I mean, whew. Okay. All right, let's keep on going. Nailed it, says Sailor Spirit. I appreciate that. Well, wait until this next segment. We're going to take a little dive into Chuck Todd. And this is a setup segment. I'm going to be real with you. This little clip is really important for the next few tabs. I'm not trying to oversell it, but you need to understand what's happening here with your political opponents. I just showed you the equity card thing, and that's an extreme variant. However, what we're about to go into is something much closer to home, and this is going to resonate, particularly if you're a consistent viewer on this channel. Watch this. Take it away, Chucky.
Is the Democratic Party a left of center party?
I think you've just hit I think this is the identity crisis that they have. I think it's just a collection of people that don't like Trump right now. Right. And that's served them well in 20. But imagine trying to create a big tent that had AOC and John Kasich in it. Right. Or how about, or Liz Cheney and AOC. You're sort of going to rip a hole in the middle, right, as you're trying to stretch that tent. And I think that's why they sort of have lost they're just, it feels like they're way too poll tested. It feels like that they're trying so hard to sort of keep their suburban voters. And that's been part of their problem. The growth in the Democratic electorate is in the suburbs, wealthy suburbs. And so the growth of the Republican electorate has been in the working class exurbs, and actually in the working class, even in working class urban areas. And I think that's been their disconnect, is that their voters are in one place, their messaging is in another, but then when they try to message to their suburban voters, they've sort of lost touch with their working class roots. So,
yes, exactly, Chucky. You figured it out. I could have saved you 12 months. You could have watched this show, and we walked through all of this. We source everything, not like NBC. But anyway, they're speaking to something really important. And by the way, we have the copy paster. You guys are already defending the sanctity of the chat. Hearts, American flags, eagles, a few random ice cubes. No, I'm not going to hate that either. But honestly, every time that they do it and you guys respond, you're making the chat go like 800 miles an hour. And every time that that happens, the lefties' desire of basically spamming and shutting down all of the conversation that we're having is only making it worse because it increases the viewers and the notifications by about tenfold. So by all means, guys, take part and just double down on what they're doing. So all right. Anyway, this is the whole point. They don't know. They don't get it. They have no clue. Because they don't. They've only built their party around anti-Trump. What do they stand for? Far-left wokeism? Well, that's kind of under attack by the Democrats. Do they stand for moderate Democrats via third way in some of the establishment corporate positions? Well, that one's kind of being under attack by these guys. You see how all of this is working? And like he said, a really good example. I mean, again, a blind squirrel finds a nut like every once in a while, but, you know. When you pull too hard on a tent like that, trying to fit everybody in it, you're going to rip the top. That's what's been happening with the Democrats. They are being taken over by communists, by socialists, by the most extreme equity card holding lefties you could imagine. Every single person qualifies in a simple, broad topic coverage called eye roll. That's why I call them the eye rolls. I mean, my goodness. I feel like, honestly, I feel like my nickname namesake would have done something very similar. I think that would have been something he would have been down with. Rush Limbaugh, of course, I'm talking about. Because, you know, Scruffy don't play. But come on, like, for real. I'm just going to lean into that nickname. It's the best nickname I've ever been given in my whole life. I'm just going to keep on going. They don't know who they are, is the bottom line. Well, while the chat explodes and you burn down all the servers at YouTube, thanks, by the way, we're going to jump over to something real quick because I'm going to show you what this pesky identity crisis is. By the way, are they a left party? Is the sun shining? Are they a left party? They throw open borders. They can't tell you what a man or a woman is. They want broad-based health care for all, just like the communist socialist nations of the whole world. They want to tax all the rich and all the really any type of affluence out of existence so they can be more equitable to bring towards a communistic and socialistic future. I don't know. Are they left? Man, get out of here. All right, here we go. Speaking of lefty, this is Mehdi Hasan. This is one of the MS Now far extremes. This is the far left ones, okay? So that's what this is representing. It's important. So a couple of things, says Mehdi Hasan. One, Hassan Piker has gone out of his way to separate Judaism and Jews from Zionism in Israel. There are multiple clips going back years of him saying so. It's his critics, like the Anti-Defamation League, or ADL, who keep conflating the two. Okay, yeah, talk about whitewashing. Senator Slotkin, who is a sitting senator, listen to this, went on Bill Maher on Friday. Why? Did she confront him on his long history of much more brazen and proud anti-Muslim, anti-Arab bigotry? If not, why not? And this is the whole point. She came out against Hassan Piker. Do you guys remember when I told you this was an emerging issue? We talked about this 5 days ago. When it started percolating out from underneath the surface, you start seeing some bubbling and some turmoil. You see it in a few different places and you go, hold on a second, something's up. Why is this happening on two different spectrums and two different channels? And then all of a sudden, voila, you have a mainline push from the Democrats against the far left, which this guy is the face of. Watch. Again, Mehdi Hasan, quote, the campaign against Hassan Piker is about crushing the left. Not by Donald Trump. By the Democrats. Does this sound at all familiar? Centrist groups like Third Way are trying to cancel the popular progressive streamer as part of their campaign to reduce far-left influence. Why are top Democrats joining in? My goodness. Telling liberals what they're going to think and do before they even know it. It's a proud moniker that I have because, oh my goodness gracious, this is... Come on. Okay, let me show you some more stuff here. This is the actual article that they just cited from the far lefty. Again, listen to this. Please, if you remember me talking about this with you, please, comments, chats, let me know. It looks like you guys scared away the old copy paster. The campaign against Hassan Piker is about crushing the left. Centrist groups like Third Way are trying to cancel the popular progressive streamer as part of their campaign to reduce far-left influence and infrastructure. Why are the Democrats joining in? And I highlighted the date right there. Look, that is from today. Okay? The day, $5 super chat from Mischief Managed. When the tent rips, will all the clowns escape? The clowns have already escaped. Did you see the earlier appetizers? Anyway, here, watch this. Uh-oh, I got the red highlighter out. That means a thing. Watch. Donald Trump is leading a horrifying ethnic cleansing campaign, gutting the Constitution, and trying to give himself king-like powers. I wonder which side the political spectrum this guy falls on. He's leading an illegal and reckless war against Iran in partnership with Israel that's immiserating so many people here and abroad. Meanwhile, prominent Democrats, ranging from elected members of Congress and 2026 Senate candidates to likely 2028 presidential hopefuls, are spending their time condemning Hassan Piker, the left-wing streamer and influencer, as part of a cancellation campaign spearheaded by Third Way, the centrist think tank. Listen to this next part. Third Way, which is funded by billionaires and corporate interest, has been quite open about its broader goal and ongoing campaign to marginalize the left. We will be the chief opponent of the left in the 2028 Democratic presidential primary, the organization's president recently pledged. Red, asked to define the kind of lefty candidates Third Way doesn't like, he pinpointed politicians who are for Medicaid for all, the Green New Deal, that's climate change, abolishing ICE, that's the new hot topic on the left, and open borders. Y'all, that is 60% of the Democratic Party, if not 70%. The moderate wing Third Way, with billionaires and corporate money, are pushing the Democrats away from woke leftyism, and the defining characteristic of woke leftyism is support of climate change, Medicare for all, abolishing ICE, and open borders. Y'all, they ain't gonna have nobody left. You have to understand, this is important because they're going to spend more money pushing this out than the other people are going to spend pushing it in. This is a game of tug of war, and the centrist Democrats just decided that they were going to off the left, as we have been walking you through slow roll the whole time. In a memo last year, Third Way advised Democrats to build a moderate democratic infrastructure, including media, talent pipelines, and communication networks. And it urged Dems to reduce far-left influence and infrastructure, neither of which meaningfully exists yet in the U.S. politics. Urged Dems to reduce far-left influence and infrastructure. Interesting. Third Way is targeting Piker as a part of a broader effort to keep the Democratic Party under the control of big corporations, the ultra-wealthy and supporters of Israel, no matter what the party's base wants. You guys seeing the war? Are you seeing the sharpening of knives? Are you seeing the wide open door you could drive a Mack truck through to win your country forever? Because they are going to leave a massive hole in the tent of the Democratic Party while they eviscerate each other. That's what's going to happen. You're literally looking at it, and I'm documenting it for you day in, day out. It's growing in speed. It's going to start in the midterms, and it's going to accelerate quickly into the presidential. This is not even over. These are not even the first firing shots. This is just laying out the groundwork. You're watching it happen. And lefties ain't going to handle it too well. I personally think that the lefties are going to eventually just move over to a different party, like the DSA with equity cards and all that. Now, I want to ask you something else. Have you been thinking something? Guys, how's this for a setup? Have you been thinking, you know what? I have a nagging thought. These Democrats, there's a fraught question. The Democrats they have this horrible choice to make. Man, I was going to say something else, but that's okay. We'll go with horrible choice. Listen to this. This is in Axios today. Some top Democrats are quietly debating a fraught question, full of danger. Whether the party's best bet for winning back the presidency in 2028 is to nominate a man, perhaps a straight white Christian man. I am without words at the level of my offense. I don't even know where to begin with that, y'all. Should I begin with the fact that it's a fraught question, or should I begin with the fact that maybe a straight white guy? I mean, that is a loaded paragraph. You know what? I think for posterity's sake, we just need to take it in order. Not hierarchy, but in order. Let's just start with the first part here. Again, this is fun, guys. I'm having a great time. So the Democrats are quietly debating a fraught question. Ooh, fearful, terrifying. That fearful question is, can we run a white guy? That's the fearful question. Should we ask why it's a fearful question? Should we crack open the door that the party of inclusion, that anyone can be anything, is concerned that they might actually say out loud, you might need to run a white straight guy? Oh my God. That statement by itself runs it up the flagpole of concern. Because that means you're afraid of people. You're whispering it. You have a fraught question. You are terrified of what this could mean for your ideals and your identity and your placement in party and status and stature. Yes, it's because you know if you say it out loud, you're going to get backhanded by the woke scolds. Everyone knows it. This is not a cute little game that, in the dark and the shadows and the cloak and dagger, maybe we should go with a white straight guy. I mean, like, y'all, your thoughts betray you. Go straight up Star Wars. Anyway, former First Lady Michelle Obama fueled such talk recently, saying the U.S. is not ready for a woman. Democratic strategists have put it bluntly, with several saying the version of, it has to be a white guy. Y'all, buckle up. This article that we're about to read from Axios is manna from heaven. It is delicious. It is like that Tim McGraw song, It Felt Good on My Lips, because reading this to you is going to be amazing. Watch this. It's real. It's not fake. You're not dead. You didn't walk through scanners. This is actually happening. Please send this stuff out. It needs to be spread. All right, here we go. As you can see, I'll show you the date in a second. Some top Democrats, God, I'm just going to have fun with it. I think I need to have fun with this. Some top Democrats are quietly debating a fraught question. Whether the party's best bet for winning back the presidency in 2028 is to nominate a man, perhaps, nay, a straight white Christian male. How do you think that's going to go with the wokies? Their fear, God, it's so dramatic. Their fear divulged with dismay in group chats. I don't want to say it, but I must. At cocktail parties and increasingly in public, is that parts of the electorate are too biased to support a woman or other diverse candidate for president. Y'all, the theater nerds are writing this article. Their fear divulged with dismay in group chats. My God almighty, act like you were betraying the next religion of the woke. Good Lord. Spoke with fear and divulged with dismay. I mean, come on. Anyway, let's keep on going. This is just fun. The Democratic Party takes pride in being a champion of women, except when they don't make the March of the Month of Women because they can't define what a woman is. Other than that, whatever. People of color, the LGBTQ plus community, and religious minorities. Electing Barack Obama, the nation's first black president, was the high point for the party's goal of boosting diversity in the executive branch. But falling short twice to President Trump, both times with women on the ticket, has left some Democratic leaders, donors, and now strategists deeply pessimistic about what voters will accept now. Y'all, okay, I'm going to... They're exhibiting, and I really want you to understand, please let me know if I land this plane. They're exhibiting the exact same problem that gets into the scenario they're in this article, only in complete reverse. Let me explain what I mean real quick. And this gets you into the mindset of the lefty, okay? We're going to go in real quick. On one side, it has to be a woman of color and a woman. We have had enough of the straight white male patriarchy. It must be a woman, even if we lose over and over and over and over and over again. It must be a woman. Then, through fear and distraught and through dismay, whispered in the darkest cloak and corner of night, they go, oh, maybe it's got to be a white guy because 2 women lost last time. Maybe America is too biased for a woman. Hold on. I know this is crazy. This is insane. I know it's weird thinking. Maybe their policies sucked. Maybe they were the most unlikable women on the planet. Maybe they just were shit at what they did. Have you thought about that? I mean, just at all? Because I think that the reason that they can't come to that conclusion, which everyone else in the country easily can, is simply because then it would reflect on their policies. So in effort to deflect away from their introspection, they have to say, well, it's because we need a woman. And then when the woman thing fails, then they go, oh my God, America's not ready for a woman. We need a white dude. Again, the main thing of which they are decrying, of everyone picking a woman because they have to win because of the demographic, are shifting to the other side of it has to be a demographic because this demographic didn't win, and avoiding completely any type of culpability for their policies. Y'all, come on. Anyway, let me know if I landed that plane, because I feel like that was like, I don't know, that was like pretty obvious to me. All this is non-scripted, so you guys are getting it like straight up. Anyway, let's keep on trucking. Let's keep on trucking. This is a fear. My God. My God. This is a fear, and I actually don't think this is just a grass tops fear. I think you'd hear it from voters too. Grass tops? I think that means the top of the power structure. I think you'd hear it from voters too that a woman has now lost twice, a national Democratic strategist told Axios. You know the irony of this entire thing? I guarantee you, if you put up a qualified woman on the Republican side of the ticket, she will be the first president, female president. Because Republicans and conservatives don't care. They just don't. They care about results. They don't care about the gender and the genitalia. They just don't, except when you have to have 78 different kinds of pronouns and 78 different ways that you consider a human. Other than that, we hate that crap. But we really don't care about the two that exist. Anyway, let's keep on trucking. Let's see if I can piss some more people off. Most of these conversations have unfolded behind closed doors, but a striking number of Democrats have begun voicing their concerns more openly, exposing a larger debate within the party over electability. Fear corners shadows. Dismay. God almighty, who the hell is writing this stuff? Anyway, let's go to Harris, because, she's going to be the nominee. Just letting you know. Like, my full-on 90% bet is she's going to be the nominee because of this exact same stuff. It's got to be a woman, it's got to be a person of color, and it's got to be her because she lost last time and it's her turn. Those four things. Anyway. Harris talked about the hurdles she faced in her book and now how they've affected her running mate selection. Again, you're seeing the exact same stuff. It's all demographics, it's all focus groups, it's all inclusion, it's all victimhood status. Watch. She wrote that before tapping Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, there's an image, her top choice was then Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, who's gay. He would have been an ideal partner if I were a straight white man, Harris said. They can't see past it. It's not about who's best at the job. They can't see past it. Pete Buttigieg would have been the ideal candidate. He's gay! My God, did you just yell that out for no reason? Like, wow. Anyway, maybe there's some more evidence in the next paragraph. There is. But we were already... God, it's so dramatic. But we were already asking a lot of America to accept a woman, a black woman married to a Jewish man, she said. My God. Part of me wanted to say, screw it, let's just do it. But knowing what was at stake, it was just too big of a risk. Y'all, pause for dramatic effect. I mean, like, my God. Pete Buttigieg is too gay. She's too black. She's too woman. And she married a Jewish guy. Overall, for the Democratic nomination, it's not looking good. The party of inclusion. Everyone else is a racist. All right. By the way, tell me that's not true. Many of the men seen as possible 2028 contenders aren't white Christians. Oh, my God. Audacity. Again, it's a real article. It's linked in the description. We're having fun. But honest to God. Autumn Fragrance says Braden seems obsessed to be gay. Yeah, the woman she voted for didn't pick the guy because he was gay, but I'm obsessed with it. Yeah, not the context of the article. No. Not at all. I'm obsessed with it. Okay, here's a little pro tip. I don't care what you stick where. Anyway, every election is different. And the skeptics of chatter say blaming some Americans' intolerance for Hillary Clinton's loss in 2016 and Harris's in 2024 could be too convenient of a way for the party to avoid dealing with its own divisions and shortcomings. Basically, you're going to pin the loss of Clinton on all women so women can never run again because you need a white Christian male. I did not write in this stuff. Axios is writing this stuff. It's amazing. It's like candy. Anyway, several potential 2028 contenders have pushed back on the notion that the country isn't tolerant enough. Ro Khanna, who's a progressive from California, said they have no idea what they're talking about. Khanna told us of Democrats who think women and other diverse candidates can't win. The data says otherwise. 2024. Okay. I got a super chat right over here from Night Whisper Grace for $10. The only type of woman that can make a great president will be one stronger than Margaret Thatcher. It's true. You know what Margaret Thatcher said about socialism? You eventually run out of people's money. That's excellent. That is excellent. Oh, man, guys, we're having a lot of fun. We are having a whole lot of fun. Let's keep on trucking. Is there anything else in this article I want to get to? Sure. This is fun. Party of inclusion. This is Josh Shapiro, governor of Pennsylvania. So Josh Shapiro on the Higher Learning podcast was asked to respond to someone who said he was a fan of Shapiro's, but too bad, quote, this is a quote, YouTube. Axios wrote this. It's linked in the description. But, quote, too bad a Jew can't be president. From the Party of Inclusion. God, guys, we're at 46 minutes and we're only halfway in. This is going to be a marathon live. Buckle up. Let's get it. Hey, look. More crazy. I might skip some of these to speed this up because I got to get to the Iran war update stuff at the end here. But look, watch this. Behold our opponents again. This is the guy at the No Kings rally today.
Would you like J.D. Vance to be the president then?
I would not.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who would you like to be the president?
Kamala Harris right now, but she didn't win. But
Can I point out something that we say no kings and no authoritarianism, but Kamala Harris, no one voted for her.
Yes, they did. Half the country voted for her, so let's not go there.
No one was voted for her to be the nominee.
Yes, they did.
Isn't that what, like, authoritarian?
You're going down the wrong road right now with me. I wouldn't go any further.
What does that mean?
I'm not going to talk to you anymore. That's what it means.
I just think it's ironic that no one voted for her to be
did.
the nominee. They just selected her like a
thank
king
you.
gets
Appreciate your
selected,
opinion,
right?
But keep it to yourself, okay? Bye. Have a good day. See ya. Take care.
What's your other sign?
Yeah. Yeah, that looks like a rational human being is connected to reality. Because hard truth, what day is it? Sunday. Hard truth Sunday. Kamala Harris, the person who was running the party that said no kings, and also the party that said saving democracy, also completely subverted democracy and got the nomination without a single nomination vote, and no one got to say who their nominee was. But yeah, please keep preaching to me about how they're saviors of democracy. That guy. Okay, let's keep on trucking. Super chat from Leonard Allen, $5. The only thing worth flipping is pancakes. Don't know what that is. Don't know what that means. I think it meant something. It may have. I don't know. Let's keep on trucking. We got a lot of stuff to do and little time to get there. I can skip that one. Oh yeah, this is a short little anecdotal thing. Watch this. Turns out that the No Kings rally is just exposing all the goodies. They just opened up everything to the crazy people. Hey, look, kill your local ICE agent. That's at the No Kings rally right here. Spray painting graffiti of kill your local ICE agent. Yeah, this is rationality, party of peace and inclusion. No kings, apparently only murderers. Oh, I don't want to hear that. Apparently only murderers. Anyway, let's keep on trucking. We got something else. I showed you that in our video earlier. That one too. I'm having to cut a few out. Yeah, we're just gonna go straight to the end part. All right, this is it. This is the moment, guys. These are the updates on the war. I might do a video on this one too tomorrow because we are at 50 minutes. Golly, I was loquacious this evening. All right. Patch Leslie says, I think he was gay. I think Axios did tell us he was gay. That's true. Here we go. But are the queens okay? I don't know. Guys, this is the part with a lot of disclaimers. We're going to have a moment real quick, and then we're going to wrap this bad boy up. We can do this in 11 minutes. Easy peasy. Make sure you refill your beverage, your popcorns, and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on if you enjoy some entertainment. Some freedom with a smile, 100% clickbait free. We are your source. Everything is linked in the description box below, and we'd love to have you here every single day. So hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. Comments, chats, and emojis make the entire world go round. Okay, let's get it. I got 2 super chats real quick. Michael Thomas with a $10 super chat. Thank you very much. And KN, $5 super chat says, a fellow Rush baby, did you watch Rush TV? Reverend Jackson is not bad, but needs a little bit of work. Constructive criticism. Now, KN is talking about my impression of Rush Limbaugh, and I take mild offense to that because I thought my Reverend Jackson impersonation of him impersonating was excellent. But I appreciate the the constructive criticism. I really I could do a lot of them. Okay. Magashe with $20 super chat said, honestly, as a woman, I don't want a woman as president, but if I had to choose a woman, I'd pick Tulsi Gabbard. You know, it's funny because Tulsi Gabbard is actually the one that like everyone seems to jump to real quick. She's got something about her temperament that is appealing to people. You're not the only person that said that. So thank you for that super chat. I appreciate it, Maga Shay. All right, guys, we got to get into this. I'm going to put a whole lot into this one. I'm going to show you some things that are kind of weird. And by weird, I mean zoom out a little bit. So one of the big things that I was getting tagged on X today, and by the way, you can follow me at Braden LOA, was the Iran war and us deploying troops into Iran. Now, I personally hold the view of I don't really want our troops on the ground in Iran. That's my own personal preference. I don't know if it's going to happen. I have no clue. And again, like I said in the earlier segment 50 minutes ago, to start this video off, anybody that tells you they know what's going to happen is lying to you because no one does. Now, I am going to show you a whole lot of things here that are very interesting coincidences on top of them giving us 20 ships of oil on top of the 10 ships of oil they gave us in the course of negotiations. That's not a country that is not negotiating. I want to throw that out there real quick. But let's get to J.D. Vance, who has been auspiciously quiet about the Iran war. Listen to this. Again, y'all, you have to put all of the pieces together here. Okay? Listen to the individual nuggets of data that's coming out. J.D. Vance, Vice President of the United States, who's been involved in negotiations.
We need to a very, very long time, and that's the purpose. You're right. Gas prices have certainly gone up because of what's going on in the Middle East, but they're going to come down, right? This is a very, very temporary reaction to what is going to ultimately be a short-term conflict. I think the president's been very clear about this, that we're not interested in being in Iran a year down the road, 2 years down the road. We're taking care of business. We're going to be out of there soon, and gas prices are going to come back down.
Okay. This is the interesting part about what he just said. And everything else was typical politician speak, but there was something else that was very interesting. One, he said, we are not going to have troops there a year from now, 2 years from now. We have no interest in that. The president has no interest in that. And then he said, it will be wrapping up very quickly. Keep that in mind. Because also, anecdotal data, they're just giving us entire freighters full of oil. Okay? Keep on trucking. This is just it's a post that I ran across, but I want to show you something very interesting right here. Where did it go? Here we go. Trump's claims scale of bombing. We've bombed 13,000 targets. We've got about 3,000 targets left. So if you're entering the 5th week now, you're running right around 3,500, 4,000 targets a week. That means you got about a week's worth of targets left, give or take a couple of days. If you're sticking on the current math and trajectory of what has been happening. Okay? Bear with me. Claims the regime change has effectively already happened. All those tankers of oil would indicate that someone is giving him those tankers of oil, which has now the controls and the reins of the country, because they're also getting out of the strait. So if they're giving us tankers of oil as a tribute, and they are getting through the Strait of Hormuz, that means at very least, in my opinion, there's a split faction going on there. Because again, Donald Trump did a speech or a announcement from the White House, from the Oval Office the other day that I showed you, that said we demanded that they would give us some sort of gift or some sort of sign that they had power of the country, and they let 10 boats through. And now they're letting 20 more boats through. Those are indicators that there's another regime that's negotiating and sending things out. Okay, that's the other piece. Now, describes the new leadership as totally different group of people and very professional. Okay, this is the part that I really, really want you to pay attention to, and it's going to require us to zoom out a little bit. What does Donald Trump do every single time he's in some sort of conflict or negotiation? Every single time. He goes in all the guns, all the bombs, calls you every name under the book, says you're doing these things, has a meeting, gets the advantage over you. You guys come to an agreement. He gets the advantage that he wants, and he comes out and he goes, he's a great guy. He's a swell guy. He's been very, very fair. He's seen the light. You know, a lot of people said they couldn't get it done, but we did because he's a nice guy and he's great and he's awesome. And that's what happened. A very professional guy. Very professional guy. He's on my side now. We've seen eye to eye, and that is literally what has happened for the last 10 years. And when you look at what's happening on a global stage, you've got different factions of what he is saying is very professional people, a totally different group of people. You got 10 tankers sliding out the Strait of Hormuz. You got 20 more today sliding out the Strait of Hormuz. They're not getting shot. It's not getting closed. Something else is going on that you're not being told. Okay? And the media is not going to do it. And sure as heck, the podcast wars who have invested everything against it is not going to do it. This is where we are getting into a very weird place. There's other things that are going on that you and Alice and I and all of us do not know. But I can tell you that these things, and Donald Trump's past, and Donald Trump's style, that does not jive with a overt invasion. Hold on. I'll keep on showing you some stuff. Super Chat, $5. Dems, no think tank needed. Run a good campaign with good issues. Talking about the whole Axios article. Chad Storms, $10 super chat. Plenty of super chats tonight. There are indeed, and I thank each and every one of you guys help keep the show rolling because goodness knows we are in fraught waters with these lefties. They are not happy. All right. There's a new kid on the block, and he's got a deep voice and a better beard. All right. President Trump, 3,554 targets still remain, hitting at 500 a day. So again, there's that math. Math is hard. That's about 7.5 days. So if President Trump is saying that there's 7.5 days worth of targets left and we're not letting up, and they're negotiating, and oil is coming out in the tanker loads, and we've got new people that we're negotiating with, and these are very professional, something's not jiving. That'll be done pretty quickly. Vice President Vance, U.S. objectives in Iran have been largely achieved. All of these things that they are saying are not indicators of stalling for time. These are indicators they're about to drop it. That's what they're indicating and leaning towards. If you've got 7.5 days left of targets to hit, you're still negotiating. The next question you're going to ask is, well, then why are we moving troops into the area? It's a very good question. Again, I want to reemphasize, no one's called me from the White House. I am just telling you what I see over here, and I link everything so you can see the same sources. But it sure seems to me that having a military presence and Donald Trump appearing to be crazy town from the Iranians' perspective, and Donald Trump manipulating the media consistently, saying that we know where they all are, we do all these things, we're not letting up, we're going to do that. It sure seems like he's playing them. Again, I'm not going to tell you 100%, but I'm going to keep on trucking after this super chat. Mitchell Tomes, $10 super chat. Braden, I can release a hunting dog and whatever it catches is halal, pure right out of its mouth. I am Muslim and people should learn more before they speak of Islam. I didn't speak for Islam, they did. I just said they didn't like dogs. That's a fact. You can do whatever, whatever. Go team. I'm just saying. The Brits said that. I didn't say that. The Brits said that. All right, let's keep on trucking. Wall Street Journal. And this is the part that's getting everyone all their knickers in a twist. The British thing again. Trump weighs military option to extract Iran's uranium. Again, I want to pay attention to the language here because this is where everything is getting really, really convoluted. Trump weighs military operation. Weighs. The president hasn't made a decision, U.S. officials said, as he considers the risk to U.S. troops. President Trump is weighing a military operation to extract nearly 1,000 pounds of uranium from Iran, according to U.S. officials, a complex and risky mission that would likely put American forces inside the country for days or longer. Again, Trump has been very clear. He wants the uranium. He wants the enriched uranium at the bottom of those bombed-out facilities that they're trying to retrieve. Now, I said earlier in the video, I don't want our troops stuck in this perpetual death trap that is the Middle East. I don't. That's not my thing. I don't prefer that. Personal preference. I'm okay bombing the crap out of all the remaining targets. Go team. Just hit all the buttons. But the troops is a much more complicated and more complex thing. Now, This is the whole point of why I'm bringing this to you. Trump is weighing a military operation. The president hasn't made a decision. Trump weighs military operation. Y'all, if you are in a position where you are the Iranians and you're seeing all this stuff, you would be thinking that he's about to do it because he also just bombed the crap out of you. All right? Listen to what Donald Trump said on Air Force One. Again, this is not an indicator of what everyone is telling you is happening. I'm just bringing you all the data. I'm not telling you one way or the other. Listen to what Donald Trump just said about the exact same thing.
Putting boots on the ground, would you do that without going to Congress?
I just have lots of alternatives. We have tremendous numbers of ships over there. We don't need them all because of, the power. Look, I would say we're just like we're ahead of schedule on the ballroom. In a much bigger way, we're ahead of schedule with Iran. We're weeks ahead of schedule. If you would have said that in 3 days we were going to knock out 158 ships, their entire Navy, which we did, we knocked out their entire Air Force. We knocked out most of their missiles. That's why you see missile attacks when they're down to, they're sputtering. And we have a group, it's really a new regime. It's a new group of people that we've never dealt with before, that are acting very reasonable. It is truly regime change.
Is Khamenei's son still alive, sir?
All right. Again, you're not hearing this. And you can see this on the audio transcript right there. March 29th, 2026. That is today. Donald Trump just openly said, we have regime change. Right here, J.D. Vance says, the U.S. objectives in Iran have been largely achieved. Y'all, everything that we're seeing is not leaning towards open and active invasion. What we're seeing is regime change, and the military troops are there as a cudgel and a threat. I cannot tell you what's going to happen at all. But I can say all the things that they're saying are not lining up to, oh, well, we're in deeper than we thought. We're going to have to send in troops. We didn't want to, but they told us we had to. It does not look that way. It could be. I will never tell you what is going to happen in the future. Scruffstradamus doesn't roll that way. That would be disingenuous of me. However, here's the Wall Street Journal article, and here is something else that's happening. Trump says indirect talks versus emissaries progressing well. Trump says a deal to be made fairly quickly. There's so many things that are going on right now that are unprecedented, and there's so many things that Donald Trump and the White House are never going to tell anyone in the press because they don't trust anybody, which I don't blame them. My own prediction on this is you're going to see this thing literally be over as a surprise. They're going to announce it completely out of nowhere, just like they announced, hey, Iran used to be on the map. It's not anymore. And then they're going to go, anyway, so back to Cuba. That's honest to goodness what I expect. I don't know if that's going to happen, but my gut is telling me, something stinks, and it doesn't stink like an all-out invasion. It stinks like we're about to win. That's what it stinks like to me. Anyway, this is something that UAE just dropped about going after Iran because they're pretty much declaring war on Iran. Again, something unprecedented. Watch this clip.
Like the falcon, they lock, they strike, they finish.
ترى لي مرات يلدها غليظ ولحمتها مرة.
Okay, so UAE is just clearly just annoyed with Iran too. Like you see that Saudi Arabia is doing the same thing. All of these countries are doing the same thing. All of these independent occurrences don't check out with everything that's being sold to you. Again, I can't tell you what's going to happen, but I can tell you that all of these things are lining up to something different than what it looks like. That's just my take on it. By the way, UAE, what? We have tough skin and bitter flesh? My God. Okay, that's a statement. That is a statement. All right, we got a super chat over here from Ron Sears, $2. Unspoken Thought, Vance Rubio 2028. I believe that is what it will be, indeed. $5 super chat. What if the new leaders in Iran request U.S. troops on the ground? That would be a twist. I'd say no. Go find somebody else. I heard the UN's available. NATO can do something. Maybe some Venezuelans are bored. I don't know. Who knows where the cardboard Ayatollah is? Goodness gracious, no one knows. That's the beauty part about this whole thing. We're all up in the air and nobody likes it. Here's the point, guys. We're just going to save the country together day by day, video by video. I'm going to bring you everything that I can find, everything that I'm trying to twist together into a woven freedom tapestry of which we deliver on the daily. Sometimes we land that plane. I hope we did on this episode. Let me know right over here if we did, because honest to goodness, I think that was a pretty good episode. We topped over an hour and 5 minutes. I didn't mean to. I got on a roll. The British thing earlier, and then I was making fun of Axos and Democrats really hard. I lost track of time because it flies when you're having fun. But I hope you guys enjoyed every second of this episode. Please tell your friends, family, all the loved ones that you have that this show, there's a new one in town. He's got a deep voice. He's got a moderately okay beard. He always wears a baseball hat. Very relatable. And while you're waiting on that guy, you can just hang out with me. Listen, I love each and every one of you just the right amount that makes you feel comfortable. I will see you on the next